Back on Course Record, I'm Michael Breed, joined now by CBS Sports college basketball analyst Wally Szczerbiak. Wally, it has been a fantastic Final Four. There's a lot to get to, but let's first talk about St. Peter's. This team was unbelievable. I mean, the players are great, and Shaheen Holloway, what an amazing coach, and I understand he's going to be moving on. Just catch us up with what this has meant to college basketball.
Well, it's the beauty of March Madness. It really is. I was a Cinderella back in the day for Miami University right here. I'm representing. We made the Sweet 16, lost to Kentucky. And you just love seeing these stories. I mean, this is a team that finished fourth in the MAC conference right around our neck of the woods. You know, teams all around New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, all those teams. And they got hot at the right time. They had won 10 in a row going into the game against Carolina. The fact that they beat Kentucky, then they beat Murray State, who was undefeated since December 15th, and then they beat Purdue. I mean, they were shocking the world. It's the first time ever that a 15 seed made the Elite Eight. I mean, they ran into a great team in North Carolina, but the story is phenomenal. Shaheen Holloway is a great coach. Those kids really competed at a high level, and it just shows in a 40-minute game in college basketball, no matter what, anything can happen. It was a great run they had.
And Shaheen is going on to Seton Hall, I understand. That's probably going to get announced later in the week. But this is a guy that you know very well.
Yeah, we used to play against each other back in the day in our high school days, the AAU circuits around Long Island, around New York City. He was a great player that went to Seton Hall, took the Seton Hall squad to his Sweet 16, so he's going back to his alma mater. He was a McDonald's All-American. He was actually MVP of the McDonald's All-American game when Kobe Bryant was playing in the game. So he had game back in the day. There's good basketball around New York City and around the New York area. So I think that's his goal, is to keep a lot of those guys in the area and have them go to Seton Hall.
What does this mean for a team like this that most people throughout the country had never even heard of, and they make it to the Elite Eight? What does it say about college basketball and the depth that exists?
Well, it's a new landscape in college basketball. It really is. The transfer portal has changed things tremendously, because now with name, image, and likeness, you have guys that are like free agents after every single season. So there are coaches that have guys graduating, that have guys moving on to the NBA, and they have holes they need to plug. I actually asked Bill Self this question on Selection Sunday, and he said the portal has allowed teams to retool and not have those down years where they have some holes on their roster. You can plug those holes really quick with the transfer portal. I think we're going to see some guys that have runs like this in the NCAA tournament from mid-majors. We're going to have high major teams from the SEC, Big Ten, Big 12, Big East scoop up guys like some of the players that had runs here for this St. Peter's team. So it's a totally different landscape. It was great for college basketball because the depth of college basketball this year was awesome. And in the tournament, there were a lot of good teams, and really anything can happen. And it's really just cool to see this Final Four with four just genuine blue bloods going at it.
That's what I was going to say. So now we get down to the Final Four and all this excitement, and we're right back to where we kind of hoped that we were going to get to and kind of thought we were going to get to. UNC, Duke, Kansas, Villanova. Your thoughts on, first of all, these opening games and then what ultimately happens at the end. I'm going to force you to give me your pick as to who wins here, okay? But just tell me. Go.
I love giving picks. Just let me say this. I am so excited to go down to this Final Four. I've been doing this for 12 years, and having these teams in the biggest showcase in college basketball, it is going to be absolutely epic. It's going to be spectacular. Having Duke go up against North Carolina in Coach K's final year, when North Carolina spoiled the party a couple weeks ago in Cameron Indoor, when they had the send-off for Coach K, there's going to be so much at stake in that semifinal game. And this is the first time they've ever met in the NCAA tournament. It blows my mind that that's the first time these schools, how good they've been, all the national championships, that they have never met head-to-head in the NCAA tournament. And they're finally going to do it on the biggest stage in the Final Four. It's going to be unbelievable. Then you have Jay Wright going up against Bill Self. Jay Wright's been the most dominant coach in college basketball in the recent years, having won 2 national championships in 16 and 18. And then Bill Self just does it every single year. So this Final Four is going to be absolutely bonkers. It's going to be so much fun. New Orleans is a great place to have it at. I can't wait to get down there and just be a part of history, because that's what this is going to be.
All right, so give me the pick. I mean, look, sentimentally, we all want to go to Duke, but are they going to be the ones that are the champions? They're holding the trophy at the end of this?
I really think it's going to be Duke against Kansas in the final, because Villanova, God bless them, I really feel for him. Justin Moore, their second leading scorer, huge part of their team. He suffered an Achilles tendon tear in the last game. I think that's really going to hurt Villanova. You know, they're a team that only plays 5-6 guys to begin with, so not having him is going to be tough to overcome. Kansas playing great basketball. I think Duke avenges that loss at home in Cameron Indoor at the end of the season to Carolina. I think Duke has so much to play for in this game, and they're going to come out just with so much fire and revenge on their mind, and they're going to figure out a way to get by Carolina. But then I think Kansas beats Duke in the final, because I think for Duke, it's going to be such an emotional game against Carolina. If whoever gets by that game, I don't think is going to have anything left for the final. And I think that's why Kansas is going to be the team that cuts down the nets. Kansas has been everyone's kind of sleeper. People have been sleeping on Kansas. They got healthy at the right time. Remy Martin, the transfer from Arizona State, who averaged 20 points a game his junior and senior year at Arizona State, missed most of the season. Now he's healthy. He's injected a lot back into the lineup. He's been playing great in the NCAA tournament. And I think as a result, Kansas is going to get by Villanova, and then they're going to get by the winner of Duke Carolina.
Okay, so now let's talk about the one of the other big stories in college basketball, and that's Coach K. What an amazing coach he has been for the length of time that he has done it, and certainly in any Hall of Fame that anybody has ever put together or thought to put together. But what does it mean to college basketball to be losing Mike Krzyzewski?
It's a big loss. You know, I've been a college basketball fan since I've been a kid. You know, I almost went to Duke. You know, I signed early with Miami. Then I had a great senior year, and Duke was kind of like, any chance you want to come here? And I was like, well, you know, I committed to Miami, so I'm going to stick to Miami. You know, it's one of the great programs in the history of college basketball. I think Coach Krzyzewski is the greatest coach in college basketball history. Losing him, obviously, is going to be a huge loss. But Jon Scheyer is a guy who's really been groomed for this. And we're seeing, you know, how well Hubert Davis has taken over, you know, at North Carolina. So I think the program is in really good hands. Jon Scheyer is a tremendous recruiter. Now he's going to need to just get comfortable on the bench, being the leader of the team and the leader of that program and calling all the shots as the guy. And I think he'll be okay. You know, college basketball is really going to miss Coach K. He's done so much for college basketball, but this is a new era. And, I truly believe that, you know, when you lose legends, then new legends are going to step up. But it's going to be interesting to see where that program goes in the future. And I think someone else will step up and a new legend will be born.
All right, so now we're going to jump to golf. Right around the corner is Masters. Next week it's going to start. I know you're a huge golfer, though we haven't had a chance to get on a golf course. That streak ends this year. Here's what I want to ask you. Who's your pick for Masters and why?
You know what? You know, first of all, what Scottie Scheffler's been doing has been absolutely outstanding. I mean, he's been so much fun to watch. His poise on the golf course has been great. You know, winning that match play. I love match play. That's my favorite part of golf. That's what I do every single day is match play. He's been great. But I'm going to go with Dustin Johnson. You know, I think DJ is just kind of Mr. Slow and Steady. He's so even-keeled. I think it's his time to kind of make his mark over there at the Masters again. That course really fits his eye. You know, he's been steady. He was steady in the match play. I think he's ready to explode and get another green jacket. I always love DJ. I just think, he's one of those guys that, you know, I can really relate to, being a tall guy, having long arms, you know, being able to hit the ball pretty far. So I just always keep an eye on DJ, and I think that's going to be another big year for him.
The one thing he doesn't have that you have is the Wally wedge. Wally, we appreciate it so much, my friend. Thanks for coming on the show. And we are playing golf this summer. That is absolutely happening.
Right after Masters Week. That's when I free up with the Knicks. I'm ready to go. Let's make it happen in early April. The courses are finally open here, and we need to start off the professional leisure tour right. Let's go, Michael.
Exactly. All right, my friend. Great job. We appreciate the time. Enjoy the Final Four.
You got it. Thanks, bud. See ya.
See ya. Fun to hear that insight from Wally. Love the pick of DJ. I think I'm going down that path as well.